Welcome to the Radiate Wellness Podcast. I'm your host, Christy Clemens Hoffman. Each week we will discuss tools, tips, and ways to radiate your best life ever, interviewing practitioners, authors, and luminaries to help you on your path. Wellness, joy, peace, abundance. What do you want to radiate? Hi, and welcome to the Radiate Wellness Podcast. I'm your host, Christy Clemens Hoffman. Today, we are radiating foolishness with Beth Byrd-Lonski, professional clown.
That's true.
You are.
Yeah.
Hi, welcome.
Hi,
welcome.
how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
I have been so excited to have you on.
Thank you.
Through the magic of podcasting, we record early, and then, we do all the magic stuff. Something happens, and then it's produced. So today, we're actually recording on April Fool's Day.
Yes, we are.
That is so appropriate.
Thank you. Thanks for thinking of it, too.
Well, yeah, right?
Yeah.
So that worked out totally great. So a clown, that is so interesting. You don't meet clowns very often.
Well, we hide. No, just kidding. I don't want to get that rumor going. We don't wear red noses most of the time.
Yeah.
But I wanted to be. I knew I wanted to be a clown like my whole life.
Really, you did?
Yeah.
That is really interesting.
It's different.
It is different. I know.
Yeah.
Were your parents behind it when you said, "Hey, Mom, Dad, I want to be a clown"?
They're like, sure, whatever. I was 7, and I'm serious. I was 7, and I said I want to be a clown, and then I didn't take it serious for a while.
Sure.
And I'm a musician as well. I was a music major, went to college to learn music, saxophone, woodwinds, and I thought this will make money. And all my musician friends, I'm so sorry, they don't make that much money. Oh my gosh, it's sad. It's sad. It's not fair. They work so hard, but what kept coming back to me, especially as a musician, was that I realized that I was still thinking in clown. I was still writing in clown. I wasn't writing music. I would dream of clown routines, whereas musicians, I imagined that they wrote music. They dreamt up music. Right. And even though I love playing music, I don't write music. So is it really my creative outlet?
Right.
And I can have both, but I write clown. I write mime. I'm a mimanic clown.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
So for the the unknowing audience,
Right.
What is the difference between a mime and a clown?
Well, so mimes tell stories without using words, and it takes training. I think that. Well, it does. It absolutely does take training.
Sure.
To learn all the different skills, and even then, there's a lot of ways to create mime. It's not like there's any one way. It's like being a dancer. Like there's no one way to be a dancer. Right. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of ways to get your story across as a mime, but it still takes skill. Like if you're going to be a dancer, you're going to start with ballet. Yeah. Typically, if you're going to be a serious dancer, start with ballet for the basics, and then you go from there. Not always, there's tap, there's jazz, there's crump, which is one of my favorite right now. I love crump.
What is crump?
Crump. I want to talk about crump. Krump, and it's a type of dance that to me goes across that line of physical theater and dance constantly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like it uses all these tools and skills, and if it's directed properly, it works completely on stage as a theatrical outlet, or I haven't watched a crump session in a long time. There's all this language for it that I don't have, but they will perform competitively, like they'll compete off each other.
Interesting.
And it's constantly changing. I haven't watched it for a couple of weeks. It's completely changed in a couple of weeks.
Oh my gosh, so
Guaranteed.
very improvisational.
Yeah.
Totally.
Right.
Well, so I always thought crump had to do with hip-hop.
Yeah.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Oh, hip-hop and theater.
Right.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, there's some really great practitioners here in Kansas City, and Vendetta, I want to drop his name.
Nice.
Vendetta. And I hope to work with him sometime soon. And so yeah,
that'd be awesome. So are you versed in the crump?
No. Kind of. I get, I watch it, I appreciate it, and I think, and I've written some material that, based on my training with I've worked with Marcel Marceau.
Shut the door! Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I studied with Marcel Marceau. I studied with Carrie Margolis and the Margolis Brown Movement Theater Company a lot.
Wow.
She's amazing. I didn't print off my CV. I'm old and it's long, and and I bring a lot of workshops to Kansas City.
You do,
yeah. I haven't the last year or so, but I'm up for working on it again and getting more people, because I still know a ton of people that are traveling and performing.
Well, I'm sure the world is fairly finite.
Yes and no. I also feel an expansion happening.
Nice.
So I'm
found Renaissance.
Yes. Physical theater. So it's under the umbrella. Everything that I do is under the umbrella of physical theater. Physical theater is theater that is best created physically. Mm-hmm. You get up on your feet and create it. And there's a lot of different forms of physical theater, just like there's a lot of different types of dance. Right. There's epic, there's mime, I've seen great combinations of epic and mime where you're telling a story where the audience is able to follow along, but it's not strictly mime where you're creating illusions out of thin air. Right. But the audience still follows where you're taking them. You have to see it. It's one of those things, and you're brave to have me on to talk about physical theater, because you can only talk about it so much without seeing it. Right. And there's a lot of different types of practitioners of physical theater, and some of my best actors, I watch them, I can tell they've got training. Your eye goes to the people that are so well physically trained, because they hold the space so well. Yes. Which leads to the energy.
Thank you.
Yeah. So holding the space when you're performing, so it's taken me a very long time to figure out that so much of what physical theater, mime, clowning is you're holding the space for that activity to happen. Mm-hmm. And it takes a lot of energy work. And so a lot of the workshops that I've attended or taught start off with a very long session of energy work right at the beginning of the day. So that, and the person who's teaching, it will even know, like, I need to get them going in this direction. And so energy work, physical theater, writing material.
Now, for me, energy work is like Reiki, is like attunement and chakra balancing. But for you, energy work would be...
You're moving the energies through your body for a very specific reason, and there is a lot of crossover, because... we'll move the energy through us and then out to the audience, and sorry, almost boom, and then this is why you should watch it on YouTube. Bam! It's really hard not to gesticulate wildly right now.
Exactly. Yeah. I know. That's okay. I can give as well as I receive.
She can duck. She can weave.
We're getting physical here.
Oh my gosh! So this is another reason why when I do TV, I try to bring, here's my video so I can stay on the couch. You don't want me moving around. So anyway, so
you're just like running the energy through people, maybe just people. Like it's amazing how energy is its own thing,
right?
Oh my God, it's like a thing independent almost.
It has to include it. It doesn't work if it's independent. Right. So what it is, so what I notice is a lot of people come and go, well, we did all this warm up, but when are we going to get to the work? Like, if you're not responsible for the energy that you are holding for the audience, that you're creating and holding for the audience, it's not right or wrong. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Yeah. So we'll do warm-ups that have you grounded. There's a lot of stuff that's, somebody will see me backstage like, what is she up to? What a prima donna. I don't know what they're thinking, but I'm there like doing all this grounding work. I can feel I've got too much energy, so I ground. Or if I've not expanded my energy enough to, sorry, bam. She's getting ready to attack. You should see her. She's nervous. So sorry. weeks ago, and I'm backstage like, it feels about like 50 people. So then I know how big to be.
Yeah.
Sorry. And I'm demonstrating what not to do when you're close up.
And for those of you listening instead of watching on YouTube, Beth is tiny.
I'm tiny.
And her energy is enormous.
Wait, but I got that. So I saw that right away with Marcel Marceau.
Yeah.
He was my size, and so
right.
Yeah, and so another person I worked with right away, Samuel Avital. He's up in Boulder, Colorado. Another tiny guy, if I may say. Small in stature, huge in energy.
Right.
And I learned so much from him that I didn't realize how much I learned until years later. That as I start to do more energy work, I'm like, I got this from the first school I went to, Les Centres du Silence in Boulder, Colorado, with Samuel Avital. And, buy the book. You should check him out.
Nice.
And heck of a nice guy. By the way, all these people I've studied with, heck of a nice guy. Or gal. People. They're just great people. I don't think you can keep putting your energy out to people and including them without going, well, everyone's included.
Yeah.
That's your job.
That is your job
That's
as a
your job.
performer.
Right.
Involve the audience and bring them all in.
Yeah. So lately, I don't know if I should mention any particular energy workers, but lately I've been doing some Donna Eden work.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So
Yeah.
Kathy, who shares this office, and she's been on our podcast once so far, but she's part of Radiate Wellness, and she does
Right.
Donna Eden.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, and I got that from Trilla Ray Carter, who runs Kansas City Broke Consortium. She's always got great energy.
Oh, very
Like,
cool.
how do you do this?
Right?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she plays a mean cello. And
Nice.
whatever. Yeah. Mean. Or anyway. That's hilarious. I'm just picturing her mean.
Angry
It doesn't work.
right?
It doesn't work. She's
No.
not mean. But yeah, so I'm one of those people like, okay, what do you got? What have you got? What works for you?
Right.
And you just go directly to the source as much as possible. And
Oh my God, did you study with Donna Eden?
No, I wish.
Right?
I'm just now finding her on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, she's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. I saw her speak at Unity Temple, and she was in her 70s. She looked like 50, maybe.
Exactly.
Yeah, whatever she's doing, I'll take that.
Right. And
Yeah.
I've just been doing it for a little bit, and I've been able to perform more than I thought I could at this point in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Who am I to judge? Because, Marcel Marceau kept performing into his 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, he was
Red Skelton
longer.
so
Oh,
other
that's
people
another
I looked
great.
to. Yeah. I got to meet him.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
okay, so
Wow.
that's one of the reasons why I'm a clown. It's one of the main reasons why
What?
I'm a clown.
Seriously? Oh, cool.
Because Red Skelton, see, this is where TV makes a difference.
Oh, yeah.
Because I would not go to bed till I watched his show. It was the one night a week I was bad. I would throw a fit. It wasn't that I would throw a fit. I'd be unmovable.
Right.
I was unmovable. Like, okay.
Let's go to bed. No.
No.
Let's go to bed. No.
What?
Yeah.
I don't hear you. You
Yeah.
know, I just didn't. It wasn't, so I would just watch him, and that's what so his intro was Red Skelton, one of America's clowns. So I thought, all clowns do this. All clowns create multiple characters. All clowns do mime, or he called it the silent moment in his show. All clowns break the fourth wall, which we do. We break the fourth wall.
Sure.
It's a theater term where you imagine that they can't see you, and you ignore that. No, clowns are like, did you respond? I'm going to play to you, and include the audience. And so yeah, Red Skelton, I used to dream that he was my grandfather.
Oh, my God.
And then when I met him when I was 20, I'd just gotten to Kansas City. This is, like, most people that know me know this story. So I was working a bunch of restaurant jobs, and I was working in Westport, and I just wore my black and whites from place to place to place.
Right.
And went home. And I was really young, so I could hold 3 jobs in Westport. And I was trying to get the night off to see Ringling Brothers that week or Red Skelton. Couldn't get the night off for either one. I was devastated, brokenhearted.
Yes.
And I wound up going to Gates BBQ, and the one they tore down, but the one on Paseo that had the big glass wall that faced out. And I went there exhausted, but that was our routine. We would go there, and it was still open. And I thought I was hallucinating, because as I was walking up to the building, in the glass room was the room full of Ringling Brothers clowns still dressed up.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, I literally thought I was hallucinating. That's how tired I was. That's how much I wanted to see the clowns. So I'm walking toward the building, like, I'm not saying anything, because I'm like, am I losing it?
Anybody else see
Yeah,
that?
exactly. That's what I'm doing. And then my friend finally elbowed me, like, don't you see the clowns? I go, you see them too? That's exactly what I said. And I went, boom! I went running right past the, hi, may I help you? As you run in, I went, where's the room? And as I go running into the room, it's just like a movie. When the movie effect where the thing comes close up and everything goes boom in the background. So I'm looking up at Red Skelton's face.
Oh, tunnel vision. Oh,
tunnel vision. And I saw the watch fob, the chain. I always say this, the chain, the unlit stogie, the brown hat. But in place of his face, I'm like, I saw God. It was like clouds. I was like, and I just almost ran into his belly. I'm staring up at his face. My jaw is wide open.
Oh my God.
I feel my tonsils drying out. And a little voice in my head said, say something, say something, say something. So I finally said, Mr. Skelton. Yes, dear. Because I'm right by his chest. And I go, may I have a hug? It's all I could think to say. It's all I could think to say. It's all I ever wanted. Who doesn't want a hug from Red Skelton?
Oh my
so
gosh.
he goes, why, sure, honey. And I get this great big hug. I'm like, take me now. I'm ready. I'm done. I'm good. Thank you. And I get this great hug. Like, I still remember the hug. But it's amazing how much I could not get my head around his face. You know?
Because you see it every day on your TV.
Right, and I just wasn't coping.
Can you imagine if you had gone to that show or other show?
Yeah.
You would not have had that experience.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I would have missed them.
Right.
And then it's a small clown world, because as I'm getting a hug, my now friend Terry DeVault, who was traveling with them, taps him on the shoulder, goes, Mr. Skelton, yeah, is there a line for this? He goes, why, sure. And he starts to give Terry a hug. Now, he and I are friends. He's based out of KC and I forget, like Michigan or something. He goes back and forth. But I think he's here in Kansas City all the time. Terry DeVault, T Texas Ranger, Terry DeVault. And then I'm like, oh, right, room full of clowns. And then the short person in the group says something, and that breaks my spell, because I'm looking at him like, I want his autograph. Seriously, because he's famous and I can't think of his name, but I got his autograph. So I went and got paper and pen. Scott Linker, anybody who's going to watch this, I got Scott Linker's. I love him, and of course he's a musician. Like, he's doing music stuff now. He was the lead clown of the troupe back then. Wow. So I got some great autographs of some now famous Ringling Brothers clowns in the clown world. And of course Red Skelton, and I didn't bring it. Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
The autograph.
Well, you've probably got $1 million of insurance on it.
Yeah, I've got it safely hidden somewhere in my house. Yeah. And I do have an autograph from Marcel Marceau, an original piece of art from him.
Right.
That I got framed at State of the Art Frame Shop on 39th Street. I love those people.
Cool.
Every artist should go to them, because they're artists.
Yes.
And I know, but I know they're great artists.
Yeah,
and they're great people, and yeah.
So that night, did you get to talk to the clowns about clowning and
a little bit,
pick their brains?
A little bit. Mostly, I was just yeah.
Clown.
I almost passed out. I literally almost passed out.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
That's your dream.
Right.
Since you were 7 years old, and here you're in a room, it's like.
Yeah, I remember the wallpaper better. Seriously, the weird things that happen when you have these life-altering things happen,
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. And so you got to actually go forward then, and when did you get your big break in clowning?
Ugh. Okay, well, I'm not sure how this started happening in Kansas City. I moved here because there was a clown school. Well, it was
in Kansas City.
It was at the community college, and oh my gosh. The name is going to haunt me, and I'll have to send it to you to put in the notes. Cool. But Terry DeVault's going to let me know. Nice. But I got to study with one of the first really big. She taught a lot of. The name is
is bugging you.
Yeah. Her name keeps kind of trying around. I learned some good stuff from her. and just kept going and just kept going. I started with the not Ringling Brothers. I auditioned for them, but didn't make it. It was between me and 3 other people.
Wow,
And
that's close.
yeah, it was really close. And but I was at the Renaissance Festival for 17 years. It was one of the first things I did. Somehow I got on the radar in Kansas City pretty quickly, and I was getting in magazines like Ingram's. Did we have an Ingram? I was in Ingram's.
Yeah.
And I had a full page spread right next to the KC Wolf. And
wow.
Yeah, I had my own page in KC Wolf, and I got that somewhere, and I was on some magazine covers, and I'm in the Boulevard Beer. I'm up on the wall of Boulevard Beer, proudly. Boulevard Beer, local, as a mime.
Well, not anymore, but
yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. But they're in our hometown.
They're in our hometown.
That's good.
But while they were still local, they had
Right.
my phone number and called me, and I'm up on the wall.
Nice.
Yeah, as
the
a
Wall
mime.
of Fame at yeah.
Well, I mean, there's a big piece of art by Thomas Gibson painted onto their wall behind the receptionist. I'm such a mime. I have to point and then remember. And with my friend Bill Jasmo Hargrave on his one-man band.
Oh, Jasmo, yeah, he's great.
He's wonderful. And Rod Seid, the fire eater.
Nice.
And those are the people I know in the artwork. And then there I am, front and center, pouring a beer into an invisible glass. And they didn't tell me how to act, but it was really sad. Like, how else do you want me to be? I'm wasting a beer. Boulevard Beer. This is a crime. I'm proud to say. I'm proud to say I wasted 1 beer.
Okay, not
Just
more
one.
than that. That's
No.
okay. That's okay.
Oh,
It's
one
for
beer.
your homies.
It was a 1 beer take. That's I love Homie the Clown, actually. I do. I love Homie the Clown. It's one
I
of my
don't even
favorite
know
things.
who that is, but I gotta know. This is awesome.
In Living Color.
Oh,
From
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Back in the day.
I gotta go look
back
at
in
that.
the day. In
Because I
Living
used to
Color.
watch that, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta go see it.
Yeah.
Man, so 20 years old. So where did you come from before you came to Kansas City?
Indiana.
Probably, are there clowns in Indiana?
Not anymore. Just kidding. I took him. No. So this is another full circle story that's just happening this year. So one of the things that happened that was the straw that broke this camel's back. I was to Indiana State on a scholarship for music.
Nice.
And then my parents didn't fill out the financial aid form, so then I had to go to Ball State. I know. Then I went to Ball State, and in Ohio, there's Kings Island, also managed by the same people that manage Worlds of Fun. So I put together an all-clown saxophone band, put together the script,
Nice.
put together the music, put together the work, got the guys. The guys all said yes, because I'm the only girl. I was the only girl. There was one other girl. Anyway, so hey, I think we can get us in.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you do that. I got us in.
Fantastic.
Then they said, what? Oh, I have other plans. I'm going to get married. I'm going to join the army. Like,
What?
And then I
Oh,
said,
no.
well, clown dreams die in Indiana, apparently. And then I left. Dreams don't happen here. So my sister enticed me to Kansas City with this clown college. Well, this clown class is the community college, but it got me here.
Right.
Oh, the name almost happened. Oh!
It'll happen. It'll happen.
It'll happen. And she lived to at least be 99, too. And her clown character was Posey. Just gonna...
Okay, yes. I know Posey the Clown.
Yes.
Yes.
Marie Kellogg! Marie Kellogg!
Yay!
I call
Marie
that
Kellogg.
senior,
Moment.
yeah, no, charades. We were just playing senior charades. Also known as GTS, where you can Google that stuff.
yeah.
But you can't look at Marie Kellogg.
Why?
Well, I
Is she
don't
not
know.
on the
Well,
internet?
I'd have to know her name. Not just, you know
yeah.
what I'm saying.
Not
Yeah.
Posey the Clown. Yeah, you can get
Yeah, because there's a lot of
anything,
Posey the Clowns.
I bet there are.
Yeah.
Hey, now, did I hear somewhere that you have to register your clown name? Is that a thing?
Well, you should, if you register your face and your name, and that there's Clowns of America, which is a very important group, and I should belong to it. They did a lot for clowns in America, for in the world, because they established a National Clown Day.
Yeah. Is that the Red Nose Day?
No, that's different. Red Nose Day
Awesome.
came from England, I believe. It came from across the pond.
Across the pond.
And so they have a lot more oomph behind Red Nose Day in England than we do here. We barely know what it is here.
Yeah.
But all the proceeds, when you buy one of those red noses at Walgreens, last year they had glitter people on their noses. And so I try to buy several a year and kind of give them away. That's my way of donating.
That's your thing.
Yeah, but and I'll buy the red nose pens and whatever red nose swag I can buy, and kind of get it out there throughout the year. But all the proceeds do go to supporting children's causes.
Oh, that's awesome.
It is very specific, well established children's.
That's great. Yeah, like St. Jude's and maybe Children's Mercy and that
things
kind of
like,
thing.
yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm sure as a clown you probably work with kids and kids groups and do all of that.
Yeah. There's the kind of organizations I look to work with that make a difference. It just depends. Well, like I've written a Mime piece about homeless veterans and their homeless pets.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's a very short piece, but it belongs on the stage. It's set to Brother, Can You Spare a Dime?
Oh,
And
wow.
So when I'm touched by something, I tend to write a Mime piece about it.
You know, I think that some of the most powerful bits of clowning I've ever seen are the ones that are poignant like that. And Red Skelton was certainly a master of that.
Right. When Freddie the Freeloader, when he was showing that he was homeless and hungry, and there's the haves and the have-nots, and just share it. Just, a little...
Yeah, Charlie Chaplin.
Charlie Chaplin, of course.
At that.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I've noticed is silent performance, like silent clowning and mime, and it flourishes when we need to communicate the things that are hardest to communicate, that go beyond word, that touch the heart, that are universally understood. And a lot of people that'll take classes they're usually very international classes.
I can imagine, because it's physical.
Right.
Because you don't have to rely on the words or the language even.
Right.
And these things they're universal.
Right.
Sadness, grief, homelessness, that's everywhere.
Everywhere. So yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Hi, this is Christy. I just want to say that we here at Radiate Wellness hope you are enjoying this podcast. It's free to you, and we hope that you find it informative and inspirational. Heck, even fun. We have just 3 small asks of you to help us radiate growth. First, please hit the subscribe button on whatever platform you're listening on. That way, you'll receive a notification every time that we have a new podcast episode out. Next, please give us a thumbs up, a like, or a 5-star review. If you're feeling inspired, a positive review wouldn't hurt. These 2 small things will help others find us when they're searching for great podcasts. Finally, please tell your friends about the Radiate Wellness podcast. Better yet, show them how to find us and how to subscribe. If everyone did that, we would double our audience. Thanks a lot. We really appreciate it.
That's very cool. And then so somewhere along the way you decided that you were going to teach classes yourself.
Right. Okay, so Richard Renner suckered me into this.
Oh, yes. I know Richard Renner.
Right. So he wanted, and rightfully so, he noticed that there was a void, that he wanted to have more performers as an agent to call on, I'm guessing. And and really the art form of clown, I thought it was going to be more mime, physical theater. It depends on who shows up to take the class.
I can imagine, like,
really,
what they want to get out of it, what their goals are.
Yeah. So right now I currently have some English as a second language students. Spanish is their primary language. I took 6 years of Spanish, and I'm trying to remember it. It's been a while. Yeah. So it just depends on who shows up. Some of the people in the class right now really want more mime than clown, which is fine.
Right.
So to me, what mime is to clown what ballet is to dance. For me, my approach to clown, you start by now that's not hardcore, depends on what people are looking for, but my approach to clowning, it's an inside job. you start you start on the inside, and then you might eventually get to putting the costume and the makeup, but you find your character first before you start putting the costuming together. You find your voice, your walk, your deepest desires, your biggest heartbreaks for that clown, for that character.
Yeah.
And one of the other things about that character is that it's the character gets to do what you normally get told no. You don't get to do that. If I do. You know, so like Red Skelton, mean widow kid. His mean widow kid. If I do it, I get a whooping. So I do it. Yeah. So it depends on the character. But on the other thing I want to say about clown, people think clowns are always happy.
No.
We're not always happy. We're funny. And what's funny is tragedy plus time is usually the the equation. But yeah, like some of the funniest clowns are very sad. You know, Emmett Kelly. I mean, his routines were hilarious because he was just so sad about, you know, here, like when he would do the walkthrough on Ringling Brothers, which I am still brokenhearted about Ringling Brothers going away, by the way.
Oh, yeah, that's sad.
I know it needed to evolve, but it's still very sad. The kind of clowning Emmett Kelly and Lou Jacobs, Frosty Little, all of those great clowns got to do, talk about big energy work. Really big, over-the-top energy work, very big costuming, very big makeup. That works in the big, arena, the 3 rings.
Exactly.
You got to...
Big tent.
Right, the big tent. You got to read to the nosebleed.
Yeah.
So if you're in the, that whole... And your energy's big and up, and the light has to hit you, has everything to do with how you move. And I can't stand up and show you. But anyway, so nice white stance, knees slightly bent, and everything is up toward the lights. You don't get to just stand up straight.
No, right.
Slightly open and
Your whole energy changes when you do that.
Yes.
I'm just sitting here looking at you. You just like all of a sudden you are out there.
Right. I'm sending out. So before I step out, I'll ask a lot of questions about the space, where are the people, how close are they, how big or how old are they, know, all of that. So it really does help to have an idea of the space before you get there, just so you can start preparing your energy on the drive. Like, right,
absolutely. You got to get in your head, and you've got to get in your body.
Get in your body. Make the energy big enough to fill the space, or small enough.
Right.
Because there are times where I purposely tested this theory, thinking, okay, is my clown high energy, or am I high energy because the space was big? So I purposely stepped out really big energy on this tight space, and the kids went, whoa. Back up, clown. And I cracked up because they didn't say it that way. They didn't say it that way. But I read it and I just thought, okay, that answers my question. It's about the space. It's not about your character. My character's always big. It shouldn't be.
Right.
Your character needs to be flexible.
Yes, sometimes it's big and sometimes it's not.
Exactly.
Your character expands to fill the space.
Exactly.
Yes, and that I would imagine that's hard to teach. Is more experiential, perhaps.
Right. Yeah.
And then I just love how you just embody this. This is such a physical thing.
Right. And for the people at the podcast not watching, I apologize.
Go over to YouTube and watch us.
I am huge right now. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I could probably just teach that class. The class is about here's how to like actors talk about the boards. Walking the boards.
Absolutely.
So what I imagine that means, as someone who's walked the boards as a mime and a clown, I'm pulling the energy up through the floor and out to the audience. And it's a circular thing out to the audience, or from the audience into me, but it's got to circulate, and it goes, your feet are involved. Your feet are involved. The top of your head is involved. You're an open spout of energy, and you're constantly cycling it the way you need to cycle it. And it has a lot to do with breath.
Yeah. Okay, tell me more about that.
So for me, one of my primary questions when I go to work with somebody who teaches physical theater, they don't always connect to the breath, but I'll ask them and ask how their work is connecting to the breath. Some people are like, it doesn't. But when I watch them, it does. They may not
realize, they may
Right.
not see what's going on.
And it's not necessary that they have to. I don't want them to stop mid-step and go, am I breathing right? No, I'm thinking about it too much. Darn it, this doesn't work for me. Who's got me thinking about breath? This is your fault. But having said all that, when I connect through my breath, then the piece works.
Yeah.
And it's not right or wrong. It's like, oh, so the piece I just did, the one I'm known for lately is called Ceremonial Sticks. And I wrote it. This is the other thing. People don't realize. People are like, hey, show us the YouTube video. I don't have my stuff out on video because I don't want it stolen. And I know a lot of people they give me a hard time about it.
Yeah.
But I don't think people realize we write our material. It's really hard to copyright physical theater.
Yes.
Now, if I use the Le Bon method, like that's a way to notate movement. That's what dancers
nice.
use, the Le Bon. I'm not well versed in Le Bon. There's very few people on the planet that are. Billy Mahoney has been teaching at UMKC, and they recently stopped her from teaching. Wrong, bad, and wrong.
Oh,
Everybody, if there should be more Le Bon versed people going around and notating and preserving for history well choreographed pieces of dance and physical theater, and we're using video these days to do it, but Le Bon is a way to put it
Just
in written notation
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and into
Right.
Congress, the Library of
Oh,
Congress.
yeah. Yes.
Which is important.
Yes. For copyright, yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
So yeah, ceremonial sticks. If I start that movement off, that whole piece off with the wrong breath, like, darn it. Okay, I got it. Start. But it's all breath.
Nice.
It's all breath for me.
Interesting. Yeah.
And so yeah, and what that piece is about is. It's a lighthearted piece about the meaning of life, that's all I can say. And I would like to do it more often, like for the Kansas City Arts Coalition luncheon sometime.
For example.
Their fundraising luncheon. I could perform it just about anywhere at this point.
Absolutely.
It's got a wonderful sound design by Greg Kasparian, and a wonderful light design by Greg Kasparian whenever he's available. He's in New York now.
Bummer. We do have some pretty top-notch people.
Oh my gosh.
From Kansas City.
Yeah.
Here in Kansas City.
Right here.
Right?
Yeah.
We do have a nice artist community.
Yeah, we were lucky to have them.
Oh, absolutely. We've had many come through, and they're wonderful.
Right.
I don't know if you know, but I have a bachelor's in theater, and so some of this stuff I totally get, and it's like was doing it and not knowing what that was.
Right.
You do it and you know what works, but you don't really necessarily have the
ability to recreate it.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. Like with Carrie Margolis, when I studied from her, like all these exercises on how to recreate something, you are creating a script, but you start by getting on your feet, working it. Like you either get in character and you get on your feet and put your character in situations, or you get in your body, get in the script that you've written, the idea, and you get up and then you create it and then you notate it.
Yep.
It's the and for playwrights, I don't know what to say to them. I'm without words for playwrights on that. I know they a lot of times they'll create characters and have the characters speak to them. It's like that.
Right. Yes.
And physical theater, you're up on your feet and you're like, this works, this doesn't. Why? And it's this it takes longer to create because you have to workshop it and get a lot of outside eye and okay, I think I'm doing this. Like, you're not doing that. Let me tell you what you're doing. Okay, that kind of thing and you have to have very good, generous friends. They're like, here's what it looks like. It looks like a cow, not an airplane. It's like a kid's drawing. You're like, okay, I thought I was doing this, but
tell me about this drawing.
Tell me about this drawing. What is it? What do you want it to say? Okay, let me rethink what I was going to tell you. It's usually not that bad. It's usually usually like add a movement here, make this a little clearer here by putting a hand position. If you want it, you're holding a basket, you got to show the body. Little things like that. Whatever.
So how many characters and pieces do you think you have?
I need to count, but a lot. You know, I did 17 years at the Renaissance Festival.
Right.
And I have, toward the end, I had 4 or 5 completely different stage shows. Like, I would have 4 different slots, and each show would be completely different.
Nice.
Right. So I had the one where the court jester was being pursued by the magistrate because they accused him of stealing the queen's crown, but it was somebody else. So I had to portray 4 different characters on stage.
All in one bit.
All in one bit.
That's cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that one again. And then I need to. There would be times where I'd go on stage like, which one am I doing? Okay, gotta go. There's one that I did the most that became basically what I did for birthday parties. I don't do birthday parties much anymore, and that's okay with me. I feel like I've kind of aged out of it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, it's just, if you're not the same age as their mom, which is a lie, you can be a great grandma and do birthday parties. Grandmas are great. Grandpas are great. Doesn't matter. What I do, though, is a stage show, and that's not what people are looking for these days.
Yeah, not in an
That's
intimate
all.
setting.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
That's all. It's apples and oranges. So if you're looking for a stage show that involves the whole audience, the whole family, and I get enough room to perform, great. And if the kid's really into having clowns, or the adult is really into having, but most people are looking for the balloons, the face painting, and the games.
Yeah, something more interactive.
Yeah, and I don't do that. I mean, just completely
I
different.
mean, there are people who do, and that's great.
Great,
You know, but
yeah.
that's just not the style that you do.
No. And so, yeah, that's all. Anyway, so, I had 4 or 5 different stage shows for that. It was Sparrow the Court Jester for that. It was great having that as 7 weeks of really workshopping an idea. And by the time the 7 weeks was done, like, okay, great.
This is solid.
Yeah. I own this. I own it. I've created, by working with Elizabeth Barron, I've got 3 distinct clown characters at the moment. I've got, oh my goodness, I've got Ortho Christopher Stevens, and she's very sexy. Which is a lot like Red Skelton's character.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Yeah, and
but maybe just the voice.
Just the voice, but it doesn't project very well. So I'm glad I have a microphone right now because it does not project well. I found that out the hard way. And then Olive W, Pennsylvania. She's very nice till she's not. And then the one that's really loud, and I can't do her full voice with this microphone. It's come on, she's really mean, and sometimes it's hard for me to find her character because
you're so nice.
Because she's the clown that runs the DMV. You knew the DMV was run by a clown, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm having a hard time being mean right now. Oh my gosh. Yeah, but she's got a very loud voice, and she's practically bulletproof. So if I need to have a strong character that can give people a hard time, but not too hard. Like I like to do blue and gold banquets where you're not going to get a medal for that, kiddo. You got to be good. Come on over here. You want a chance to be good? I'll give you a chance. Don't blow it. Yeah, yeah, but really much louder than that, you know. But it's that giving them a hard time while giving them a break.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I just can't, because I'm in such a small space, I can't, like that clown is huge. Yeah.
I can imagine.
I can't do it. And she wears red and green on, really, almost a unibrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Like that girl on Drew Carey.
Yeah. It's a lot like her. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize how much I got all of these different character ideas till I saw, oh my gosh, now from Laugh-In, and now she's with
Lily Tomlin.
Yeah, Lily Tomlin.
Okay, yeah. Oh,
I saw Lily Tomlin's live show. She is rocking it hardcore now.
I can imagine.
She did her full act, all the physicality of it, huge.
Wow.
Big, moving great on stage.
Wow.
And oh my gosh. And you don't realize how much you're borrowing from somebody till you go to do something like, oh, did I plagiarize? Not quite. Close. So yeah, Lily Tomlin is another huge influence on me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Carol Burnett.
Carol Burnett is probably the biggest, though.
Oh, she was huge.
Right.
Yeah, such physicality.
Exactly. And all the different characters and all the great way of interacting and the generosity on stage and reading each other and you know, giving each other the space and cracking up and I just
that was the best part.
Yeah.
When they broke that fourth wall and they were just cracking up.
Yeah. So yeah, she was a huge influence because I don't think I would have thought of starting my own company without her.
Right.
Yeah, I know Lucille Ball was...
She was also very physical.
Right, and she had her own company, but I don't think I realized that as a young child as much as I realized Carol Burnett was running the way she was running her company. But yeah, one would not exist without the other. And I created Byrd Productions in '95. I'm not sure where I'm at with that. Like, you got me at a transition.
Really?
Right now. Yeah, because so having my name on it has kept it small, and I've made a lot of mistakes along the way. I've learned a lot, and I kind of want to roll that into something that doesn't have my name on it, where I'm not, I need to have it to be something I'm passing on to others. I've created and produced a lot of physical theater in Kansas City. Yes. I'm looking at creating a physical theater consortium, because there's enough physical theater in Kansas City, enough physical theater practitioners this is where I think it's expanding. I'm of the generation that was able to get the courses started in colleges.
Fantastic.
Right.
Wow.
Like, there's my friend Nick Johnson at Wichita State University, Janine Thompson, or Thomason, my apologies, at USO. No. Sorry, I didn't. Anyway, so there's people a little bit older than me that I trained from, that I learned from, and they went off and put Arizona's got a program because of the same people, and they were the Invisible People troupe that started a company that started bringing Greg Goldston. Can't leave Greg Goldston out of it. Because it was the Greg Goldston, Nick Johnson School of Mime in Gambria, Ohio, and the Invisible People, their mime company, that went off and got a lot of programs in universities around America. Rick Waymer, Lori Heald, and so now it's the International School for Mime, I believe. It's still in Gambria, and it's being run by people my age. Not telling you my age. No, Stephen Chips. There's Dan Griffiths, who's been teaching. I think Lori Heald is back there. And they were bringing Marcel Marceau in every other year. And that's how I got to study with Marcel Marceau. And so they're carrying on with a lot of great mime training at that program in Gambria. And it's a summer program. Why am I telling you all? And now the next generation that I'm knowing, the expansion, are all their students are out there hitting it and creating physical theater, and so I could give a whole history lesson, but that would take a little time. But it's we're at the expansion part where those students are out there creating, and I'm constantly hearing about young people coming to Kansas City and having laid out the groundwork since '95 of workshop after workshop after workshop.
Yes.
Did the Physical Theater Festival a couple years ago. It went well enough to do it again, but I needed to regroup, and I'd like to do it with a lot more people involved.
Oh, that sounds awesome. I mean, I swear I see you everywhere.
I don't sleep. I never sleep.
I was wondering about that.
No, lately it really has been the Donna Eden work has helped a lot.
Yeah, it's amazing. It unites the two hemispheres of the brain. It just allows better energy flow through your body.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, that is fantastic.
Yeah.
And she's, like I said, she's 70-something years old. Looks like she's got the energy of somebody much, much, much younger.
Exactly.
So whatever you're doing is working.
Thanks. So I'm 54. I mean, I think that's important to let people know.
Age.
Hey, there you go.
See?
Yeah. See, there's so like Samuel Avital did a lot of that same energy work that Donna Eden is doing, but I didn't know what to call it.
Right.
But our morning warm up was a lot of what Donna Eden does for her morning ritual.
Yeah, 5-minute routine.
Yeah. And so getting your energy up. Oh, once again, clown energy. Okay, so one of my favorite things is like, so from a scale of 0 to 10, 0, you're still in bed. Or 0 is also like that release that you give, boom, like the test pattern on the TV.
Yes.
And, so then 1, it's in your eyes. 2, it's in your face. 3, it starts to get in your body. That's the close-up work of the camera. And then 4, 5, and 6, well, you have to be really close. The 4, 5, and 6 is generally what people are doing on camera. 6, 7, 8, that starts to get into clown and dance. You have to bring your energy level up big enough to be on the boards, to not be quotidian, which is another way of saying every day.
Yes.
Don't, people aren't paying for everyday energy on stage.
They're not.
Yeah. Even if they're not paying, you're there to provide a service of,
Yes.
and reading the room. And even if the room is, you've been paid to be a clown in a very tight situation where people are bringing their kids up to you, very rough situation for us, by the way. It's the hardest thing, and it's the main reason why we get blamed for kids crying. That forward-facing stroller is just terrible. And it's usually the person that's in control of the stroller loves clowns. The person in front has no idea what's happening. And I'm like, I'm trying to back up, and I'm trying to give all the signals. Please, the kid, is going to cry. Yeah. And I don't wear a lot of makeup. I dress as a close-up clown. If I'm going to be up close, you can still see skin. It's important. Yes. It's called the uncanny valley. They got to be able to see that you're a person.
Yes.
And so I do my best to allow that person to have the space they need. I'm not always in control of that, though.
I know.
Yeah. If they're afraid of me, I act afraid of them until they know they're in control, because they are.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing. Mimes get blamed for picking on people. I try to make sure my clients know I'm not that kind of mime. If they want that, they got to hire somebody else.
Yeah, you're a very generous clown.
Right.
Yeah, it's very generous, very gentle. The energy, just entertaining.
Right. I try to be inclusive. If somebody wants to play, I want to play with them. If they don't want to play. But a lot of times people put mimes in the tightest situation, which is the worst.
Yes.
Like I've been put in between tiny, tight. Well, keep working the crowd. There's no way to get to them. There's no way.
The crowd is all over the place, and they're doing different things, and
the word crowd. We're crowded.
We're
crowded. It's a crowd. We're crowded. There's no place for us to get the distance that we want from each other in order for us to interact the way we want to interact.
Well, and that you have to have too. You've got to have space in order for the interpretation to form. And yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, is there anything that maybe we haven't touched on, or anything that you want to make sure that we talk about before we sign off today?
Gosh, I can't think of anything.
So many things.
Just notice the moments that you could give yourself a break and have a little bit of a laugh and take things less serious, and be able to laugh at yourself. Because if you can't laugh at yourself, somebody will beat you to it. That is my motto. Seriously, if you get all angry and you're like, just stop and see if there's some way you could laugh at yourself, because whatever it is you just did, it's probably laughable.
Probably so. Like you said, tragedy plus time equals funny.
Right. So make that fast transition. Right. Yeah.
And your website is birdproductions.com.
.org.
Sorry.
.org.
Okay.
.com, I think, is a furniture store or something like that. Anyway, BYRD Productions.
Good, yes.
byrdproductions.org. I want to thank my wonderful web designer, Margot Foster. She's saved my life so many times.
Shout out to web designers.
Oh, she's great. And on Facebook, I'm Bird Productions, BYRD Productions, Physical Theater. We also have our clown company, The Flock. We also have Comedia KC, Kansas City, on Facebook. And the classes happen at City in Motion, cityinmotion.org. We've been doing those since 2005. Thank you, City in Motion, for giving us a place to be clowns.
They seriously rock.
They really do. I've been with them since they're one of the main reasons why I'm in Kansas City.
I can imagine.
Yeah, one of the first things I saw was their new dance series, a choreographer showcase. And I said, if Kansas City can support this, it can support what I'm up to. And I stuck around and I stayed in touch. And then I became the director of the new dance series. I performed ceremonial sticks.
Nice.
The longest version I ever did, 97. I don't remember. It's been a long time. I don't remember the year. It might have been 87, for goodness sakes. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. And then I became the director of the new dance series, and then I became the director of Dance in the Park and A Modern Night at the Folly, because there was a lot of pressure from like the Missouri Arts Council and funders to stop doing the choreographer showcase, which was, I would think, everything from soup to nuts that helps choreographers flourish and give them a place to try things out, to take risks.
Yeah.
And now there's another thing happening like that by Kyle Mullins. Kyle. I should have my notes. And so you can. I'm happy to see there's a place to take risks, and I do my best to create situations where you're safe, so you can take risks.
Absolutely, and I know that's greatly appreciated. And I tell you, for clowning in Kansas City, physical theater in Kansas City, really, Beth Byrd is the name. Beth Byrd-Lonski.
Yeah, Lonski. Oh, and my Facebook page, Beth Byrd, BYRD-LONSKI. And
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Beth. This was a gas.
Thank you.
Yay,
Thank you.
yay.
Happy April Fools.
Happy April Fools.
Radiate Wellness is a community of holistic and alternative healers and consultants based in the Kansas City area, dedicated to helping you create spiritual, energetic, and physical well-being. To learn more about our practitioners, services, classes, and events, or to schedule an appointment, visit us at radiatewellnesscommunity.com.